Hey, my name is Minstein and I am a legally blind artist. Today's video is about July's artist guild Collab. What is that, you ask? The Artist Guild is a Discord server for artists. Of course. Each month we create a collab together. No one has to participate, but everyone can. If you just want to share your art and talk to people, that's totally fine. Everyone in the Artist Guild is very nice and helpful. I'm happy to be part of it. A link to the Discord server is in the description below. The theme for this month's collab was characters as monsters or animals. At first, I wasn't really inspired by the theme, even though I've been watching series like Coupe and Beasters lately, which I really enjoyed. But at some point I started to get very excited about the theme, because of a story I wrote. I haven't been writing in a long time, but one night I suddenly felt the urge to sit down and start writing something out of the blue. I came up with a character named Hari. They are a non-binary, Ermin-inspired human-animal hybrid who experiences something life-changing. Typical plot for a story, but it actually got pretty exciting. I really want to develop it further. If you'd like me to read out an extract of some of my stories to you in the future, let me know. I used to write stories all the time when I was younger, but I kinda lost interest in writing stories at the same time as I stopped drawing. There were about 10 years in my life when I didn't create much, if anything at all. I've just been being busy with getting used to my sight loss, school and other life stuff. I'm glad that I finally enjoy creating stuff again. So after writing about 2000 words in 2 days, I started making a few sketches of Hari in my sketchbook. For the color piece I decided to make a digital drawing though. I started off with making a few gesture sketches to figure out which pose I wanted to go with. Then I just defined the sketch and went on with the line art. I'm hoping that my line art gets more precise at some point, because I undo and redraw my lines a lot. But I like to make quick and swooshy lines that have a lot of energy and flow to them. I just think it makes the whole artwork look more interesting and dynamic, even if I have to redraw the lines a lot. Precision comes with experience, right? I had some struggles with drawing the hands and even more than that with the feet and shoes. I really need to practice that some more. Talking about practice, there is so much to improve on when it comes to art, which is a wonderful thing, but sometimes I just get overwhelmed by all the things I want to get better at. So I often don't know where to start. But I'm pretty lucky because I enjoy studying a lot. It is almost as fun to me as making art for myself. I just enjoy drawing, doesn't really matter what I draw. Well, I'm sure there are things that I wouldn't enjoy, but I haven't found them yet. How about you? I'd really like to know if you like to practice. Is it fun to you or just a pain? After finishing the line art, I blocked in a flat grey color and turned off the line art layer to check how well the silhouette reads. Then I blocked in the shading, which I completely scrapped at some point because I decided to make a full background for this piece. I have to say, I had a scene from the story I wrote in mind while drawing this piece, so it was a little easier for me to come up with ideas for it. I started to paint the background by blocking in some basic shapes with random flat colors for orientation. Then I took one of Clip Studio's watercolor brushes and randomly added strokes to indicate high grass. I switched between different greens and bluish greens to give it some more dimension, and roughly blocked in more and more detail by staying zoomed out so that I would not get lost in there. To give everything a feel of depth, I made the objects that are further back less saturated and lighter, and the objects in the foreground darker and more vivid. I also decided to use cool and warm tones to achieve a nice balance between both. This was actually one of the first times that I tried painting a background like this. So it was a lot of trying things out and playing around with different layer modes and gradients and so on. While working on this piece, I switched between coloring and shading the character and adding detail to the background. Then I noticed that I don't really like how the face turned out, so I changed some parts of it and tried to make it look a bit more animal-like and expressive. For the colors on the character, I pretty much went with what I already had sketched out in my sketchbook. I like to add the colors from the surrounding to shade the character, just ever so slightly. I think it makes them look more like they are actually in the scene. I also like to add some hints of bounce light, just to make everything look a bit more interesting. I think I could have pushed that even more in this piece. In the end, I colored in the line art to make certain parts pop out a bit more. I'm not sure if I like it like this though. For the final polish, I played around with the color balance a little to make the colors look even better together. This time, I volunteered to put the collage together. So I grabbed everyone's submissions, which are all very great artworks by the way. I really like how different all the art styles are. It looks really cool when you put them all together to one big piece. For the composition, I pretty much went with my gut and focused on scale. I tried to pay attention to tangents, but it is not so easy with so many different characters in one piece. Well, I did the best I could. If you want to check out who the other artists are, you can look for their posts on social media under the hashtag #ArtistGuildCollab. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice night or whatever time it is, and remember to be kind to yourself and others. Bye!